today. My name's Lave and I haven't had the chance to go to the cinema at all recently, so I've taken the opportunity to watch one of my Blu-rays. So this week I watched The Lobster. So this has been on my to-watch list for quite a while. I remember seeing Colin Farrell talking about it on a chat show last year. As a cinephile or someone who watches a lot of films, I'm always on the lookout for a unique film, and The Lobster totally fits the bill. It's very unique and original in terms of narrative and premise. It's directed by Greek director Yorgos Lanthimos in his first English language film. Yeah, not going to pretend that I know his other work, but I did hear that this film did well at some European film festivals last year. So The Lobster is set in the near future or an alternate reality. It doesn't actually define which, so take your pick. In this world, single people are forced into a hotel where they have to find a match or a companion within 45 days. If they don't, they get turned into an animal of their choice, which then gets sent off into the woods. It stars an on-form Colin Farrell as David, a newly divorced man who gets sent into the hotel. His animal of choice, if he doesn't make it, is a lobster. So essentially you're checking in with David and experiencing the hotel with him. He meets a variety of characters, and I will say this film has been really well cast. You've got Olivia Colman as the hotel manager. You've got Ben Whishaw, John C. Reilly, Ashley Jensen, and even Keith from The Office. I love the fact that they all played their roles deadpan. They all seem devoid of emotion and are a bit robotic. It just lends to the weirdness of the film. Hi, my name's Lave. I watched The Lobster. Now I'm reviewing it. Okay, bye. So I was really digging the first hour of this film. It's really darkly comic. Some bits actually made me sit back and think, whoa, this is really sinister. It's just so weird, because then the next minute I was laughing my head off. There were a couple of moments where I was sitting there and thought I could actually be watching a Wes Anderson flick. It really did remind me of his style visually and tonally. And speaking of the visuals, I'm sure the director is paying homage to Stanley Kubrick's The Shining at some point. It just really reminded me of the Overlook Hotel. And I'm sure the sound design is deliberately trying to invoke thoughts of Hitchcock's Psycho. And I don't think it's a coincidence that the hotel manager's partner really looks like the big man himself. The cinematography is beautiful, and I think it's all filmed with natural lighting. I would probably be raving about it more had it not been for The Revenant, which just did it better. And I totally get and love the fact that this film is a reflection on our own society, on the way that we think about relationships, on people who are not in relationships, how we go about finding companionship. Being single and in my very late 20s, it really resonated with me. So far so good, and at this stage I feel I have to issue a spoiler warning, because to really tell you what I thought about the film and to really unpack it, I have to give away spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, stop watching now. If you don't care about spoilers, then carry on watching. So the second half of the film is where it loses me a little bit. Colin Farrell's character escapes into the woods where he meets up with the loners. They're a bunch of people who hide out in the woods who want to be single and don't want to be turned into animals. One of the leisure activities for the hotel guests is to go out and hunt them with tranquilizers. If they catch one, it gives them an extra day to stay at the hotel. So Colin Farrell's character hooks up with them, and that's when you meet Léa Seydoux's character, and you also meet Rachel Weisz, who also narrates the film but then becomes the love interest. It's at this point when the film takes a different turn and explores themes of jealousy, very much represented by Léa Seydoux's character. At first I thought that she was just this rebellious character. She actually leads a mission into the hotel, but the more I think about it, the more I think she's motivated by jealousy. She finds out that Colin Farrell's character and Rachel Weisz actually fall in love, so she devises this scheme to blind her. So they decide to escape from the woods and then live in the city as a couple, and it all builds to this really ambiguous ending when Colin Farrell's character is going to blind himself so that he's the same as his love. Yeah, the second half just wasn't as good for me. There are some really good jokes in there for sure. Colin Farrell's character and Rachel Weisz come up with the whole language of moving their arms to talk to each other. It's absolutely hilarious. I just wasn't sure about the ending. I wish they resolved that. So that's my thoughts on The Lobster, and pause the video now if you want to check out my enjoyment tracker. I really enjoyed the first half of this film, and I'd say there's just about enough to enjoy in the second half. I will say this, I did watch the film twice in 2 days just to make sure that I kind of got it. I would give it a chance. It's definitely not going to be everyone's cup of tea. If you love your films and you're looking for something different, then definitely give it a go. If you're more of a casual viewer, then I'd wait to see it on television. Yeah, casual viewers might think they've wasted their money if they rent or buy it. So thanks very much for watching. If you liked the video, like it. If you didn't like it, dislike it. Either way, tell me in the comments. Okay, bye. Subscribe.